What do people think you are joking about, but you're 100 serious? That my nose has a bump on the bridge of it because I was punched by a kangaroo as a child. Edit, since a few people are asking, definitely not as exciting as some of you think. I was 5 at Australia Zoo. I was really obsessed with feeding the kangaroos because they are the one section in the zoo where you can walk through and pat the animals. Turns out a fully grown kangaroo doesn't appreciate my hand being shoved up against their face constantly, so he stood right up and punched me in the nose. Kangaroos can be quite vicious when they want to be, so honestly a punch was nothing and 5-year-old me totally deserved it. GT, heard joke once, man goes to doctor. Says he's depressed. Says life seems harsh and cruel. Says he feels all alone in a threatening world where what lies ahead is vague and uncertain. Doctor says, treatment is simple. Great clown Pagliacci is in town tonight. Go and see him. That should pick you up. Man bursts into tears. Says, but doctor, I am Pagliacci. Alan Moore.
Hey guys, much like you, I love reading people's stories on Ask Reddit. Unfortunately, there's a lot of weird middle school level, just thought experiment type hypotheticals like nice try Baskin Robbins. I don't find this compelling, so that's why I've made it my mission to trawl and crawl through Ask Reddit and find the very best content and put it in your ears. That's why I'm begging you. Like and subscribe. If there's anything I can do to help you out, give you the kind of content that you crave to help you get through your workday, let me know in a comment. But please like and subscribe.
You know those box sets you get your boss for Christmas when you don't know what else to get? They have the cheeses, crackers, summer sausage, and a variety of mustards? I fucking love those. That's what I want for Christmas. Everyone thinks I'm joking and I get something else. I got arrested for drinking when I was 16 while hanging out with my best friend. The next day my parents found condoms in the car and my mom assumed that they were for my friend and I to do a little plug and play. My mom sat me down and asked me very seriously if I was gay. I had to convince her that I wasn't. When she went upstairs to tell my dad the outcome of her suspicions, all I heard was a very exasperated "I told you." I love my dad, not me, but my uncle. Uncle's coworker called him while he was home, asking him what he's up to. "Oh, I'm just watching my house burn down." "Ha ha, funny. Seriously, what are you doing right now?" "I'm watching my house burn down. The electrician screwed up the wiring." Forgot the details when he told me the story. I do know that he got insurance plus some compensation. The company responsible for the fire housed them at a nearby hotel for a few weeks. That I lost 70 kilograms, 160 pounds, from 230 kilograms, 500 pounds. I was 230 kilograms and lost 70 kilograms, so I am at 160 kilograms now. I was at 500 pounds and lost 160 pounds and am at 340 pounds now. I'm still overweight, so they are always baffled in disbelief until I show them how I looked like 3 years ago. Sometimes annoying but always refreshing. I am totally speechless. I never expected my comment to blow up like this. I also don't know how to respond to everyone without spending over an hour answering. So I hope editing my answers into the main comment will probably do, lol. 1. I will think about posting some pictures, but am not really comfortable doing so. 2. I changed my lifestyle and lost most of my weight when I had literally nothing to do. I had no job, school, and focused on losing weight for about half a year by exercising and eating less. I left out any kind of sugary stuff, like cake, ice cream, etc., and focused on meat and vegetables. The hardest part was overcome one's imaginary cravings for fatty and hearty food. 3. Right now I'm again struggling with losing my weight. It is a lot harder to do so when you have a full-time job, so I am at 160 kilograms for over 10 months, but I reignited my willpower to lose weight by having a new goal in life that requires me to be at a healthy BMI. I have to rethink my strategy all over again to cope with my full-time occupation. 4. I am German. Even though I think my English is pretty good in comparison to other German people, P, it certainly can be flawed. So thanks for correcting me, dear grammar Nazis LT. 3. 5. I am 25, male, and that I'm allergic to temperature change. My body will react with rashes, hives if I experience a temperature spike. For example, if I were to go out in the cold weather for a bit with appropriate cold weather gear and came back inside to a warm, let's say 78 degrees, house, within minutes it'd be covered in hives, rashes, and whelps on my body. I take medicine daily to help keep it under control. When I get a sunburn, wherever the burn is, I get an allergic reaction on top of it and surrounding. It was really bad one time in 2014. The sunburn hurt and the itching and burning from the reaction turned my entire back into one massive hive. It was the second closest I've been to using my EpiPen. So my theory is we don't actually outgrow it, our body just becomes better and adapts to what is causing the issue. Like allergy shots aren't a cure, for example, they just retrain your body, so to speak. I've had those in the past for a few years. Oddly enough, the days I got shots, it'd break out in the area where the shot was for like 15 to 30 minutes. The worst I get these days, because I've adapted to winter temps and don't layer up in sub 30 degree temps, is when I get embarrassed. My body goes nuts and from head to toe it's a rash covered, sweat covered, heat covered mess. The moment I feel embarrassed, it comes at me fast. I hate it, amp. In a way it's an allergic reaction to anxiety. Final, the EpiPen. A few months ago I woke up with my throat closed completely shut at like 2 a.m. Couldn't breathe at all, amp. Was thinking I was dreaming the world is silent when you can't breathe. Got stung by a spider in my sleep as evidenced by spitting it out in a panic nightmare in itself. Was struggling to find the EpiPen in my apartment when my throat slightly opened, amp. I could breathe a little. Found the pen, sat on my couch to calm my nerves, ready to stab it in my thigh if my throat started to close again. It eventually opened all the way after a while and I went back to sleep. I keep the pen on my nightstand now. I'm going to get in a van and just drive away. This comes up occasionally when people ask me what I'm doing after college, and people think I'm joking, but I'm dead serious. I want to live in a van and just drive around America having a grand old time for a while. Most raw cucumbers have a really strong taste to me. I know most people think they're basically tasteless. But not to me. Some people interpret this as me not liking cucumber. That's not it. I'm actually kinda okay with the taste. I love celery and crunchy green vegetables in general. It's just that if there's cucumber in there, the taste of cucumber is just too strong, it overpowers everything else. Family didn't believe me when I was growing up. Now that I'm an adult and can explain what's going on, they kind of do. It also helps that there's stuff online where other people are saying they have the exact same thing, maybe due to being sensitive to a particular chemical or something. Plus, one of my coworkers has a similar thing. People would laugh when I tell them two things. 1. I have a high cold tolerance. 2. I have autism. You'd never know I'd have the latter unless I told you. You don't know how many people have laughed at me, and then they stop and see I'm staring not at their eyes or nose and say, "Oh. Wow, this got a lot more replies than I expected." To those asking the most popular questions on this thread. 1. I don't tell people I have autism, it's mostly my mother who will blurt it out in conversation even if it isn't relevant. Sometimes I'll excuse myself for stumbling over my words by uttering out I have autism. 2. Eye contact is not the only symptom of autism. If you think you have autism, please do research on symptoms. Eye contact is not the only symptom of autism, and it does not mean you have autism either. 3. I usually look at inanimate objects when I don't make eye contact with people. I think it's a side effect of a lack of sleep, but who knows? If you guys have any more, send them my way. At this point I might as well hop on over to Rama and do an AMA.
If there's ever a fly, or a mosquito, or like a yellow jacket, or some weird unknown insect in my house, my wife will not leave me alone until it is dead, and she will blame me personally for having a house that an insect entered. The only way that I'm able to buy peace for myself so that I can work on this YouTube channel that you enjoy is by using an electric fly swatter with an affiliate link in the description. The way this fly swatter works is that you hold down the little button and then you whack the fly as if it were a tennis ball, and it looks like a tennis racket. And what the electricity does is it stuns the insect or kills it so that you can clean it up easily. And the fact that it's a tennis racket gives you a much better chance of actually hitting the insect. And I found it invaluable, and I hope that you will decide to also use it in your home. And, if you're like a teenage boy, you can also whack other teenage boys with it. We used to do that in the Boy Scouts.
I was about 16, which was around 2007. I was skating around and had to take a massive dump. I was only 4 blocks away from home, but I knew I wouldn't make it. Luckily for me, there was a gas station nearby which had caught on fire, and it was pretty much just an abandoned building. I went inside and I couldn't get my pants off fast enough. I had finished my business and realized I didn't have anything to wipe with. I found something fluffy next to me and it seemed alright to use. Turns out I wiped my ass with fiberglass insulation. I remember having a fiery itchy asshole for weeks, and, for so many people, migraine is just a fancy word for bad headache. But it's a whole separate category of headaches based on an inability to properly ignore certain stimuli. So, yes, the sunlight does cause me real physical pain and I have to lie down in a very dark room with earplugs in until it calms down. I was born with 5 congenital heart defects and 2 congenital lung defects. I have many other health issues. I've had 2 strokes and a heart attack by the age of 15. My first open heart surgery was done at about 10 hours old. I was also diagnosed with arthritis when I was 11. For some reason some people don't believe me and think I'm joking exaggerating. Some have even told me that it's impossible to have those things happen at a young age. This was even said to me as a teenager. When my scar is pretty visible. I've never seen myself without my scar. This was 1990, no smartphones of course. So my first photo was taken 3 to 4 days after I was born. And that's why congenital heart defects need more awareness. It's the number 1 birth defect. Happens 1 in 100 births. That means it's at a higher rate than all childhood cancers combined. People need to know that heart problems, heart attacks, strokes, arthritis, etc. isn't something that only happens after the age of 40. Even kids that were born with a healthy heart. Things can and have happened. TV commercials for heart-lung meds needs to start showing people under the age of 4050. So it's showing people it happens in younger people. I hate cucumbers and my mom knew that, so when she'd make salad she'd make it with cucumber and then take them off my plate after. I always complained that she did that because I could still taste that cucumber used to be in the salad, and she never believed me because cucumbers almost taste like nothing. Then how do I know that there used to be cucumbers in here, Mom? You share some similarities to my son. He's also autistic and I have to force him into jackets so his school doesn't think I'm neglecting him. They yelled at me when I didn't have backup jacket 4 after he kept hiding them in school. He would be fine rolling through the snow shirtless if I let him. I woke up to a lot of awesome responses. Thank you so much for giving me insight. I'll try to answer as many as I can. Coworkers greet me every morning. How are you doing? Me? Well, I don't feel like killing myself. I guess, that's good. They laugh. But I'm dead inside. Not happy enough to enjoy my life. Not depressed enough to want to kill myself. Anxiety is a bitch. So, tons of people are saying I'm making things uncomfortable to my coworkers. I do have a dark sense of humor in general and I only say these things to coworkers that I'm close with or at least to the ones that I converse with a lot on daily basis. Trust me, no one takes it seriously. Also, I'm not mad my coworkers think I'm joking. That's my shtick. I'm the funny guy, I tell weird and ominous jokes a lot. Sometimes, I can be obnoxious but for the most part, they like my jokes. They laugh. Yes, I'm in therapy and yes, I'm on meds. They're just not helping me as much as I want them to help me. This probably will never be seen. This was years ago. But senior year of high school, everyone is talking about their plans. Where they wanted to go to school, dream jobs, etc. I had a shitty senior year. Some situations came up, and I came to the realization that I didn't have any real friends, nobody I could trust. So when someone asked me what I was going to do after graduation, I told them I would disappear. Sure enough, I had my car packed and ready to go. After graduation, we were all standing around, laughing and recalling stories. Halfway through someone's story, I walked away and never looked back. Got in my car, drove 12 hours away. Changed my phone number, deleted my email address. I haven't been back to my home state ever since. I have no idea what sort of rumors have circulated about me. They probably all think I died or something. Didn't think this would get this much traction. I've got no plans all morning, just watching some amputees go swimming. Feel free to ask me anything. I plan on responding to every comment I get for the next few hours, but I just want to put up 2 things for people to see. The first is from the song Le Banquet, by C2C, well, it's a collection of audio samples from a few speeches. GT, I just want to say this right now. GT, that regardless of what they say about it. GT, there is nothing new, only different. GT, never forget this. GT, the future is to those who take it. GT, all I say that nothing is easy, and the best things are the hardest. The second is how I have made every major life decision since leaving home. It's a really easy trick. Flip a coin. It doesn't matter what the outcome of the coin flip is. Because, in that brief moment when the coin is flipping through the air, you'll know what you really want. My entire time at university was this non-stop. You don't drink? Why don't you drink? You should drink. I will buy you a drink. Here, even though you told me not to, I bought you a drink, you should drink it. Haha, yes, whilst you were in the toilet I did add vodka to your water. How did you tell without drinking it? Vodka and water don't mix? Really? Ha ha, yes, this time I replaced the whole drink. What? The smell? Oh yeah, I guess that would give it away. Every damn time. In the US, the policy is individual to the doctor. One of my mentors had a personal stance that he wouldn't do a vasectomy on anyone who didn't have 3 kids, with at least one of each gender. He developed that personal policy after being a doctor for 30 years and seeing scores of men regret their vasectomy and try to reverse it. He also wouldn't do a vasectomy on a married man unless the wife agreed to it. Once again, it wasn't law, he'd just seen too much marital strife and too many regrets. I want to clarify that this was a family medicine doctor who knew these men and their families, often for decades. He'd still be seeing them for years after the vasectomy, and he knew if he did the procedure he'd be the one they came to if they had problems or regrets. He was also the one they came to if they had it done somewhere else. It wasn't that he told them they couldn't have it done without these criteria being met, it was that he personally didn't feel comfortable doing it. I'm afraid I may end up like that. Not that it's bad though, I know and have worked with many older single people and they're very happy. I'm only 20, but it's never been in my personality to want a relationship. I've had 3 girlfriends before, but it's felt like it's just for the sake of my friends and the girl wanting it. I'm not gay, but I just prefer being an individual. Definitely not asexual, just never been able to share love or feelings with another girl. Whenever the topic comes up, I just fake it or bail ASAP. Am I depressed? Scared of love and commitment? Aromantic? Who knows, I just like meeting new people, having fun and making friends.
Do you have any idea how convenient it is to use a Keurig machine for brewing coffee or tea? Personally, I gave up coffee a long time ago, but I was able to get a great, delicious cup of coffee in just seconds with no cleanup, no extra work, using a Keurig machine and a K-cup. And now I use my Keurig machine to brew tea, loose leaf tea, every day that I drink. And I also use it to make oatmeal and, anything else that you can put hot water into. So if you don't have a Keurig machine in your house, you're missing out. Try my affiliate link below in the description of the video, and you too can enjoy a great cup of coffee in seconds, any time of day.
I always say if you tickle me the first time I kick you will be involuntary, the second time will be on purpose. Oddly, my nephew, who is 9 now, has loved tickling since he was born. I tried to be careful tickling before he could say stop because that's just torture, but he would just lift his shirt to be tickled again. I've had 6 spine surgeries in the past 3.5 years. My body will never be the same. People can tell by the way I sit and stand, and I'm always adjusting, but I try not to complain. My friends absolutely do not get it. When I get home from work, I just want to die and they get all annoyed and think I don't want to hang out. It's like, no fuckers, I'm in serious pain. I understand that they don't get it because I didn't understand until it happened to me, but fuck, it's awful. That I don't really like human contact. I hate it when people assume they can pat me, hug me, touch my ass, etc. People seem to think it's like some sort of challenge and go out of their way to touch me like I'm supposed to grant them wishes if they accomplish it. The only time someone has actually respected it when I told an American roommate the day after they got drunk and hugged me. They were pretty apologetic about it. I love the huge popcorn canisters with those different flavors of popcorn. Everyone seems to think it's a terrible gift for some reason though. I got one for a Christmas party at work last year, and I saw the person who opened it look around with a clear look of disgust and sit it down beside of her. I wish I could have went up to her and took it back because I would have eaten the shit out of that. I'm in college. I have one friend. He lives 137 miles away, at home. I've been here 3 fucking years. And it's never been more lonely. My girlfriend, who is met this year, cheated on me and dumped me earlier this week, and I just don't feel anything. Like, it hurt at first and there's just nothing now. And I have no one to fucking turn to, and it's going to kill me. I have 2 friends. One of whom I never see, because she lives 752 miles away. But she's a good friend. Thank you, all of the people who replied or messaged. The kindness is especially needed right now.
I turned 36 this year, and I decided to focus on my physical fitness, so I bought a swim club membership. The only problem was, most of the time when I go swimming, I wind up getting an ear infection. So it turns out that normal earplugs, they kind of irritate your ear canal, they don't really work, they don't keep the water out. But there is an amazing kind of earplug. It's called Mack's Pillar Soft Silicone earplugs that, they feel great, they keep the water out 100%, they're reusable, and they don't irritate your ear canal at all, no issues. If you've ever had a severe ear infection, you don't want to experience that again. It can permanently damage your hearing if you're unlucky. So investing in these earplugs is definitely a good idea. Also, when my baby was crying later this year and I could not get to sleep, I used the same earplugs and they worked great. I was able to sleep right next to a crying baby. So be sure to click my affiliate link and purchase some of these Max earplugs today.